Hello there everyone, this is Joy. Welcome back to another Inspiration Friday video. This month, Fleur and I are being inspired by the shaker card trend. I'm going to be making some shaker cards, and I've even seen recently a lot of people doing shaker elements on their scrapbook layouts. I'm going to be using some seed beads and sequin mixes from Studio Katja, and I recently picked those up at scrapbooknerd.com. I guess I'm way behind on the sequin trend, but these sequins are absolutely beautiful. I'm going to be sharing two shaker cards today. One is a more traditional shaker card with this die cut stitched circle from Studio Katja, and the other one is going to be using a 6x8 pocket page protector. I have my fuse tool heating up on the side here while I start cutting down the 6x8 page protector. I'm making sure that I stay outside of the already sealed edges, and I'm going to also cut off the binder hole that is on the edge of the page. This will leave me with a three-sided pocket that's already sealed, and I just have to seal one of the edges. I have already pre-cut a white piece of cardstock for the inside of my shaker pocket. I also kind of know how I want this laid out with the stamps that I'm using from Hero Arts, and I die cut my niece's name from a very old Quick Cuts font. I don't even remember what the name is. I'm going to be using my sticker maker to add some adhesive to the backs of the letters. Now, over the years that I've owned this, I've noticed that it kind of leaves a bit of adhesive around the shapes that you put into it. So my solution to that is that I grab like a stylus or some kind of tool that is not sharp on the end, and I trace around each of the shapes or letters that I'm put into the sticker maker. In doing so, I find that the excess or the little balls of adhesive that get left behind from just pressing the two sheets together is gone. I adhere the name at the bottom portion of the white cardstock, and then now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm using a stamp positioning tool called Stamp Perfect, and I'm going to use this to line up the sentiments using the grid on the base, and then I'm going to stamp it twice so I can get a nice dark black sentiment. I'm also going to use this stamp positioning tool for the words that I'm putting on the back of the card, which you'll see shortly. Sorry about the glare on this part. I did stamp Wish Big on the back of the card. It's now inside the plastic pocket. I die cut a heart from Spellbinders that has two layers on it, and I'm going to put that underneath the Wish Big. It just felt a little bit empty on the back with just the sentiment. I'm going to seal most of the fourth side of this pocket. I have a scratch piece of paper to protect my plastic mat because you can burn a hole with it into your mat with a fuse tool. I'm going to leave a little opening at the bottom section there, so I'm moving my alignment guide up in order to do that, and I will seal the edge. Add in the sequins and the seed beads and some small black hearts that I cut from black glitter paper. And once I have all of that added in, I will finish sealing off the bottom portion where I left an opening. Now, I could have left the whole side open and added the sequins in. I just found that they were moving around too much and flying out, so I sealed part of it in order to have a smaller opening to try to contain what I was adding in. Moving on to my next card today, I pre-cut these stitched circles die from Studio Katja for the front of this card, and I'm going to use both pieces. I love the stitch detailing around the edge, so I wanted to keep that as a highlight on the card. I'm going to use a piece of acetate to cover off the back as a window, and I flipped over the piece. I was testing out to see if I wanted to add a background stamp to the front, but I don't like the way that it looks. I added some double-sided tape to hold down the acetate piece to the back of the card, and I believe this is called, it's a heavier weight acetate called Clear Craft plastic, and it's from a company by the name of Graphics. Once that's done, I can now glue the die cut stitch circles to the front of the card with some perfect paper adhesive in a fine liner bottle. And then I'm going to set some heavy jars on top of it in order to get a good stick between the paper and the plastic. Once that dried, I was able to get back to assembling this card, and I'm using some doubled up foam tape to create some depth for those sequins to move around. So I'm going close to the edge of each of the circles, and I'm also going to put a very thin strip in between each of the circles, as you can see here. I'm using some Summer Fusion sequins to fill up the circles, along with some clear iridescent seed beads. And once I'm done filling the little areas, I'm going to pull off the contact paper and adhere some scrap white cardstock to the back of the shaker portion. The next step is to add more double-sided tape to the remainder of the back of the card before I adhere it to my card base. So the size of the card that I'm making for this shaker card is a standard A2 size, and that is half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. I just wanted to take a moment to say welcome and hello to the new subscribers to my YouTube channel, as well as to all of you that watch and thumbs up the videos that Fleur and I create every month. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Fleur's YouTube channel is linked in the description area below. Head on over and see how she was inspired by the shaker card trend this month. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.